Cortez, this does involve you because you are an educator.
Yes, I am.
You are a father and a father figure.
I try.
Yes, you do try. You do a damn good job of it. But tell me, man.
Thank you.
What the fuck is up with Dr. Seuss?
Shit.
What the fuck is up with Dr. Seuss?
I don't know what Dr. Seuss did. I had no idea what he did, man.
Well, I'm going to tell you what happened. His books have been beloved by children and adults for generations, but 6 of them will no longer be published because they are racially offensive, according to the business that preserves the author's legacy. So Dr. Seuss Enterprises say that 6 Dr. Seuss books, including And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street and Scrambled Egg Super, portray people in ways that are hurtful and wrong. Here are the 6 books that are being taken away by the Dr. Seuss Foundation or Dr. Seuss Enterprises. The Cat's Quizzer, And to Think That I Saw It on Mulberry Street, If I Ran the Zoo, On Beyond Zebra, Scrambled Egg Super, and McElligot's Pool. These are the 6 books from Dr. Seuss that are being shelved permanently. The announcement was made on Tuesday, which coincidentally was Dr. Seuss's birthday. Hey, happy birthday, we're banning your books. This decision was actually made last year. The move comes as President Biden also omitted mention of Dr. Seuss on Read Across America Day, which is held annually on the author's birthday. So Dr. Seuss, who was born Theodore Seuss Geisel, has come under increased scrutiny over the years as his history of racist and anti-Semitic work has been uncovered. A study of 50 Seuss's books in 2019 found 43 of the 45 characters of color had characteristics aligning with Orientalism, and 2 African characters had anti-black qualities. Of these 6 books being pulled, The Cat's Quizzer and If I Ran the Zoo were cited in the study specifically for examples of Orientalism and white supremacy. Cortez, what the hell's up with Dr. Seuss, man?
Problem is, man, it's been going on for years. Nobody hasn't called it out. You can find racism in just about everything, man. It's very subtle racism. Until somebody say something,
right,
that's when it becomes an issue, man. Like, they've been pumping Dr. Seuss for a long time, man. They've been riding, died with him and everything, man. Now people are like, oh, because we are in what you call an enlightenment period right now.
Okay.
Where we know it's like, you know, we can call stuff out that we could not call out back then. So it was, you know, it probably was some issues going on back then with it, but nobody was able to call it out, man, because they didn't want to get blindsided or they didn't want to have their careers jeopardized.
That's very true. So, GPS, do you feel the same way? You co-signing with Cortez?
Dude, let me tell you something. Some of my earliest, fondest memories of learning to read are off of Dr. Seuss.
Okay.
So if we ever talked about green eggs and ham, I would tell you, would you like them in the plane? Would you like them on the train? Would you like them here? Would you like them there? Would you like them anywhere? No, I do not like green eggs and ham. That is a common theme throughout the book. The fact that we have to go back so far kind of really bothers me, even in the age of coronavirus, but you know, it was always there. Why did we never see this? Why did it never come up? Why was this never a bother before?
Okay.
I guess you have to pick apart somebody. So hey, you know, these things are there. You know, maybe they'll find more, but I gotta tell you, I grew up on a bunch of Dr. Seuss books. You know, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, One Fish, Two Fish, Red Fish, Blue Fish.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. The counting book.
I mean, you know, just there you go. I mean, the fact that they got to go down on Theodore like this, I mean, I'm really hurt. Like, yo, come on, y'all, damn. You know, it's so ingrained in our culture that it's got to go to what we teach the children. Damn, and we let him write and publish this book years ago.
Children are the future, right, Cortez?
They are, guys. There's some artists out here from way back, European artists, man. They got pieces hanging up in museums, and they were racist as hell. You know what I'm saying? It's just it was a part of the culture, man. It was accepted. The attitude was, European superiority is in. If you're not European, then we don't be bothered with you. You must assimilate. You must assimilate to our culture, or you will be labeled as an outcast. And I noticed that, man. I still see it. Like, we do racial training at the school now. We do equity training and everything. And we look at something like, we had to throw out a lot of material, man. A lot of material we had to toss out, or we had to sit down and redo it over, or reintroduce it differently, because it had a lot of racial tones to it, man. A lot of racial tones. And until we can get past that, man, it's going to be an ongoing thing, man. We had to literally take all the history books out of the schools, man.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that really have to be taken out. But you know what? One thing that I want to bring up next time, I really want to kind of expand on this. And the topic I want to bring up for next week is, with everything that's been happening as far as cancel culture, whether it be going back 50 years or something that just happened maybe like 50 minutes ago, whether it's any kind of racial insensitivities that have happened over the decades, over the centuries. Have we become a country that is too sensitive in certain issues? Not all issues, but just certain issues. Just gear up, everybody, for next week. So that's going to be one of the main topics, is, has this country become more, what's the word that I'm looking for, more sensitive to certain things, and to a point where we just get hurt by any little thing.
Yeah, we're not desensitized anymore, man. We used to be desensitized about it, but now, like I said, it's an enlightenment period right now. We're like, yo, this is what this is saying right now. And we feel more like we have to say something instead of just being a bystanders, man. We sat down, we watched a lot of this go down, man, Now we have to be more proactive about making sure it doesn't continue to happen.
So yeah, I definitely see your side of this, and I totally agree on that. So I want to definitely go further with this next week. So let's gear up for that, fellas, next week, for that issue, to see if this country has become more sensitive on things that shouldn't make us soft to other countries in the world.